I never expected to hear his betrayal at the altar. I had to make the most unbelievable choice. The air was thick with anticipation. The crowd was a sea of blended faces, excitement vibrating off their skin like static electricity. I stood there, heart hammering against my ribs, each heartbeat a countdown to the moment my life would change forever. My wedding dress was a cascade of white lace, whispering around my ankles as I gripped the bouquet, my fingers trembling, and then the priest's words hung like a storm cloud above us. If anyone has just cause, speak now. The world paused. My breath caught. That heartbeat felt like a thunder in my ears. Shadows danced across the faces of my family. A collective gasp erupted. I could see my mother's lips quiver, my father's hands ball into tight fists. Something was about to unfold, something I couldn't anticipate. Suddenly, my fiancé, Noah, his face contorted with indecision, stepped forward. I could almost feel the air crackle with disbelief, could feel the tremors ripple through the gathered friends and family. The world blurred around him as he spoke. "I can't marry you, Emma." His voice was raw, each word slicing through me like glass. I recoiled, shock shooting through my veins, making my heart race even faster. Tears threatened to spill as I searched his eyes for an explanation, something, anything, to hold on to. "What are you talking about?" Desperation clawed at my throat. The crowd murmured, whispers swirling like a tornado around us. "There's someone else," he confessed. Those words crashed into me, stealing my breath. Panic bubbled up within me, desperate and wild. Someone else? Not now. Not here, but why? Why would he do this to me? Pictures of our future together shattered in my mind, crashing to the ground like porcelain. My knees threatened to buckle beneath me, and I swayed like a leaf caught in the wind. I glanced at my best friend, Sarah. Her eyes widened in horror, her mouth gaping at Noah's betrayal. She reached out, palm outstretched, but it felt like I was miles away. Images flashed through my mind, a life built on laughter, on dreams wrapped in sunlight. My dreams. All of it crumbling beneath a single confession, leaving me standing on the precipice of destruction. His betrayal echoed around us, bouncing off the walls like a haunting melody. "Emma, please." Noah's voice cut through the haze around me, desperate, pleading. But the warmth I once felt for him had turned ice cold, snuffing out any flicker of hope. I felt adrift, lost in sudden betrayal, surrounded by murmurs and gasps from the onlookers, their eyes boring into me, judgment thick in the air. I had to make a choice. An unbelievable choice that would redefine me in this moment of chaos. My heart ached, a churning pit in my stomach, as I felt the relentless pressure of their gazes weighing on my shoulders. Was my whole life to be rewritten here and now, or was there something more, something unforeseen waiting in the shadows? Hey, before we continue with this amazing story, I need to give you an important heads up. Many subscribers have reported that YouTube unsubscribed them without warning. Take a quick second to check the red button below to make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. I'd hate for you to miss any of the exclusive content coming soon. And while you're there, smash that like button. It really helps me out with the algorithm. Oh, and tell me in the comments, which city are you watching from? I love getting to know every amazing person who's part of this community. Your participation makes all the difference. Let's connect. My breath came in sharp gasps as I stood frozen before a sea of questionable faces. Could it even be called a wedding anymore? A funeral, perhaps a mourning of my past life filled with illusions of love and commitment. I searched Noah's eyes, hoping for a glimmer of remorse, but instead, I found only a storm of regret swirling within the depths of his gaze. Each second dragged on like an eternity, a reminder of the fragility of trust. "Emma," he continued, trying to bridge the chasm of devastation he had created, "I'm so sorry. I thought I could make it work." The desperation in his voice felt more like a lifeline being tossed in a storm, but it was one I couldn't grasp. My heart burned with anger, betrayal, and confusion. The questions tangled in my mind like a ball of yarn, elusive and infuriating. "Who is she?" I managed to choke out, fueled by an insatiable need for answers. Was she someone I knew? Someone who had hidden in the wings all along? The crowd leaned forward as if drawn by an invisible thread, dying to know, just like I was. "Emma, It doesn't matter, Noah murmured, the weight of his confession crushing between us. What matters is that you broke my heart at the altar. I spat back, feelings rising to the surface like bile. Tell me, why did you even come here if you had doubts? Why didn't you speak up before this moment? This was my day, my future blighted by his indecision and cowardice. As anger warred with sorrow in my chest, I felt Sarah's gentle hand on my back, a small comfort amidst the swirling chaos. She leaned closer, her voice low and steady, slicing through the noise around us. Let's get out of here, Em. We can talk now. I snapped, jerking away from her comforting touch. This was not a moment to escape. This was a moment to reclaim myself, to stand firm in the rubble he had created. With newfound determination igniting the embers of my heartache, I turned to face the crowd. I deserve a choice, I declared, my resolve gathering strength. And not in the name of your selfishness, Noah. I looked at my family, their expressions a mix of concern and support. My mother was crying, tears rolling down her cheeks like silent prayers, while my father stood resolute, fists still tightened in frustration at the man who had betrayed his daughter. Yet, among the heavy emotions swirling around me, I caught sight of an unfamiliar face in the crowd. A woman with auburn hair, her eyes pools of kindness against the backdrop of chaos. She exuded an unexpected warmth that beckoned me, offering a strange comfort amidst the storm. Was she a stranger, or had I seen her at some point in the past? I couldn't tell. Another gasp rippled through the crowd as she stepped forward, her voice reaching me over the murmuring facade. Emma, do you want to know a secret? There was a deep kindness in her eyes that momentarily soothed my racing heart, though her appearance only complicated my emotions further. What? I replied, my voice trembling as I wrestled to balance the depths of betrayal with this unexpected flicker of hope. She gestured to a nearby door, leading outside where light spilled in, illuminating fresh perspectives. I hesitated. Was this woman there to distract me, or did she genuinely care? A part of me ached for clarity, for solace amidst the storm, and then Noah took a step forward, his voice strained but insistent. Emma, don't listen to her, but I didn't take my eyes off the woman. You have to understand, I can't go back now, I said, as an avalanche of emotion threatened to engulf me. The air crackled not with the remnants of my broken wedding, but with the promise of something unknown. A thread tugged at me, leading me toward this mysterious stranger. The priest's voice, once a symbol of hope, faded into the backdrop of my thoughts. I felt drawn toward the door, toward a potential escape, but also toward an awakening of my truth. I need time, I whispered, knowing I hadn't just shifted the balance of my heart, but rather the course of my very life. In that moment, everything held its breath. My heart raced with uncertainty, each beat a reminder that whatever lay ahead was a leap into the unknown. Just as I moved toward the exit, I glanced back one last time at Noah. The anguish on his face was palpable, a mixture of relief and desperation I could never comprehend. But the weight of his choice felt like an anchor, tugging me back, a reminder that I needed to set sail toward a horizon I couldn't yet see. And then, as I stepped through the door, words caught in my throat, a shocking revelation whispered through the crowd. You're pregnant, aren't you? The ground beneath me felt like it was slipping away, my heart plummeting in tandem as I realized that whatever choice I made now would shift everything once more. In the fleeting moments that followed, the world outside the door blurred as I stood suspended between two realities. The air felt different outside, the chaos of the wedding replaced by the soft rustle of leaves and the distant hum of life moving on. But the weight of the revelation lingered, heavy and suffocating. My heart raced as I grasped for breath, each inhale a sharp reminder of the chaos I had left behind. Emma, the stranger said softly, stepping closer, her presence grounding me. You need to breathe. It's okay to feel overwhelmed. I looked at her, my mind a whirlwind of emotions. I'm not okay, I stammered, shaking my head as if to dispel the words that clung to me. I don't know what to do. The knot of betrayal and confusion tightened further, wrapping its tendrils around my heart. It's okay to feel confused. You just found out about your fiancé and his choices. And now this. She gestured gently to the door. You have a lot to process. I blinked, absorbing her kindness, and felt an unexpected surge of gratitude. "Who are you?" I managed, trying desperately to anchor myself to some semblance of clarity in this maelstrom of emotions. "Just a friend," she replied, her eyes glimmering with warmth. "A friend who happens to know what it feels like to be betrayed at the altar. My breath hitched as I studied her. "You? How do you know?" "I've seen my share of heartbreak. It hurts." She offered a sympathetic smile that shattered the icy shell around my heart, letting in a glimmer of warmth. "But I also know it can lead to something beautiful, a new beginning, if you allow it. A thought pierced through the fog, a new beginning. What did that even mean? In that moment, my mind flashed to Noah, his face pleading, regretful, as if all the air had been sucked from the hall when Head made his confession. I recalled the sight of him, standing there, and the words he had uttered. The mention of a child tangled up in the enormity of his betrayal felt like a cruel twist of fate. Why no? I felt an urgent need to understand why none of this surfaced before. Why would he marry me when he was... "Emma," she interrupted gently. "Let's focus on you. What do you want?" I closed my eyes, willing the noise of the past to quieten. "I want to feel whole again." It felt so simple yet impossibly complex. A part of me was lost, adrift and unanchored, haunted by what could have been and what had been stolen. Then we start from there. She reached for my hand, and in that instant, I felt a connection forged through shared heartache. "I am afraid," I whispered, the truth seeping from my heart. "What if he is?" The question hung in the air, heavy and unresolved. With each passing moment, the weight of that revelation bore down upon me. If Noah was indeed the father, the stakes grew exponentially, pulling at the strings of my heart and soul. "Fear is part of the journey, but it doesn't have to define it," the woman said, her voice steady. "Whatever you decide, it's going to be your choice. You deserve that." And just like that, something within me flickered. A reluctant ember ignited, illuminating the shadows of doubt and despair. I had spent years shaping my life around Noah's choices, and now it was time to reclaim my power, to build a life that was truly mine. As the sunlight bathed us in golden hues, I dared to whisper, barely believing my own voice. "What if I choose to walk away?" The thought felt exhilarating, liberating, yet terrifying all at once. The woman smiled, her expression full of understanding. "Then you walk away, Emma. And you take one step toward your future, whatever that looks like." In that pivotal moment, a flicker of resolve surfaced within me. I wasn't quite ready to sever my ties. The path ahead felt daunting yet brimming with possibility. But as I lingered in the silence, contemplating the weight of the words I was yet to speak, the door creaked open behind me, and familiar laughter filtered into the air. "Noah isn't the only one with secrets," a voice announced, cutting through my moment of clarity. My pulse quickened as I recognized his sister, Chloe, stepping into the light, her eyes flashing with mischief and secrets. "Chloe," I breathed, my heart racing at the thought of her interruption. "What are you doing here?" With a smirk, she stepped closer, her voice low and conspiratorial. "I overheard something that might change everything. You might want to sit down for this." My heart sank with a mix of dread and anticipation. My unfinished thoughts evaporated as curiosity gripped me. Whatever she had to say could tip the scales of my already shattered world. Would this news provide the clarity I desperately sought or plunge me deeper into uncertainty? As I stood there, caught between the warmth of an unexpected friendship and the urgency of Chloe's revelation, I felt the weight of the moment shift once more. Chloe's gaze flickered between me and the stranger still holding my hand. Am I interrupting something?" she said, a teasing edge to her tone, yet the apprehension in her eyes pointed to the gravity of the situation. No, I started, a mix of anxiety and determination swirling in my chest. "Not at all. Please, just tell me what you overheard." My voice was more urgent, craving understanding amidst the chaos churning within me. With a deftness that only a sibling could muster, Chloe edged closer, her voice dropping to a whisper that suggested the weight of her words. "I was talking to Matt, and he mentioned that he saw Noah with someone a few days before the wedding. It wasn't just a fling, Emma. He was deep in it with someone else. My heart sank. A part of me yearned to dismiss her words, to tell her that Noah loved me and that everything else was just a misunderstanding. Yet, the look in Chloe's eyes told me she believed it wholeheartedly, and that single, undeniable truth shattered any illusion I had left hanging by a thread. Who? I managed to ask, my voice trembling with disbelief. Who was it? Chloe hesitated, the silence stretching taut. They didn't say, she admitted, regret etching her features. But you have to understand, if he was lying to you, if he let you walk down that aisle with this secret weighing heavy on him, then what was it all for? I murmured, feeling the walls close in around me, suffocating and starkly gray. The visions of our future together disintegrated like ash in the wind, leaving nothing but the bitter taste of betrayal. Before Chloe could answer, the stranger squeezed my hand firmly. You don't have to bear this alone, Emma, she said, grounding me amid the rising tide of confusion. Sometimes we need to lean on others to find clarity. The word echoed in the chasms of my mind, blurring with the poignant pain that swelled within my chest. Did I really want to peel back more layers of this all-consuming heartache? Yet deep down, like an unrelenting tide, my fears whispered that every answer could lead me closer to the truth, whatever that truth may reveal. I am scared, I finally admitted to Chloe, my voice cracking as tears brimmed my eyes. I'm terrified of what it all means. If Noah was with someone else, what does that say about everything? Chloe stepped closer, her presence steadfast. You've spent so long with him, building a life together. It's okay to be scared of what might come next. But Emma, you owe it to yourself to know the truth, no matter how painful it is. With a nod, I willed myself to be strong, but a fresh wave of doubts washed over me. What if I can't handle it? The stranger, with her steady gaze, urged me. You're stronger than you think. If Noah is hiding things from you, you need to confront him about this child and about the affair. You owe it to yourself to have answers. In that moment, the pieces of the puzzle blurred and twisted, forming horrific images in my head. Each scenario painted a darker picture of the man I had loved so dearly. What if I find out I've built my life on a lie? The thought chilled me to my core. Chloe reached out toward me, her expression softening. You will find a way through this. Leads you to something new, something real. Whatever the future holds, don't forget there's strength in vulnerability. You might find unexpected kindness in places you never imagined. Yet as those hopeful words lingered in the air, a commotion erupted from within the wedding venue. Laughter shifted to confusion, and then to muted gasps. The electrifying energy pulled me toward the door, curiously edging closer, my heart in my throat. Stay here, Chloe commanded softly, sensing my impulse to step forward. We can't confront him just yet. We need to know why everyone is reacting that way. But the sense of impending dread propelled me, compounding with the weight of the unspoken truths that now hung thick in the air. Whatever secrets lay ahead would either bind me tighter to Noah or burn the bridges irretrievably. As I turned toward the entrance, another voice broke through the tense atmosphere. It was Matt, his face flushed with urgency as he shouted, "We need an ambulance." Someone's been hurt. Panic flooded through me, and my pulse raced, spiraling into a volatile storm of confusion. What was happening? Was this about Noah? About that child? The unknown collided with fear, and before I could process it all, I grasped Chloe's arm, my mind racing through the scenarios that threatened to rip the ground from beneath me. A sudden chill gripped my heart, and a penetrating thought emerged. Was it possible someone I loved was in danger? Anxiety rippled through me as the gravity of my situation crystallized. Nothing would be the same after today. I could feel it deep in my bones, and in that moment, the future felt more uncertain than ever, rippling with dread yet strangely crafting the faint outline of a path ahead, one I might have to walk without Noah by my side. The commotion inside the venue intensified as I stood frozen at the threshold, my mind racing with dark possibilities. The air felt stifling.